Yo, what's up guys, it's me Zachary and welcome to day 48 of the 2017-2018 NBA season. Let's just get into everything that went down yesterday though. Lego. This portion of the video is in no way to say the Oklahoma City Thunder are all of a sudden a great team and that they have magically figured things out overnight. But I gotta be fair here, I called them out for not adapting, for not changing over the first 15 or 20 games when they were calling team meetings and players were saying how tired they were of losing and were willing to do whatever it takes to get wins, yet every single game they came out and did the same thing. Isolate Russell Westbrook, ISO Paul George, or ISO Carmelo Anthony. Myself and the rest of the NBA world were calling them out on this. Even Thunder fans were starting to get fed up with the way things were going. Now though, like I said, they still didn't magically figure things out and are all of a sudden the team that we all thought they could be, but they are showing signs of heading in the right direction. The Thunder beat the Spurs last night 90-87 and normally would have been a very impressive win until you realize that not only do the Spurs still not have Kawhi Leonard, but they also rested Tony Parker, Manu Ginobili, Rudy Gay, and LaMarcus Aldridge, and other key guys like Danny Green and Paul Gasol played very limited minutes. So you could say that the fact that the Thunder won only by 3 isn't good at all, but a win's a win, and they had lost to Dallas and got smacked by Orlando recently, so it is good at least that they won this game. Anyways, one of the biggest questions coming into the season was who is going to take a step back for the Thunder, since there is no way that this team will work if Melo, PG, and Russ all play the same way that they were playing before. Most people thought it would and should be Melo, but he was still getting most of the shots and touches he was getting himself in New York at first. And then Russ and PG were both trying to do similar things that they were doing last year as well too. No one was taking a step back at all. If anyone was, it was Steven Adams compared to the role that he had last year. However, that finally looks like it's changing now. Over the past 2 games, both have resulted in wins for the Thunder. Carmelo Anthony specifically has taken a backseat to the rest of the team. Before he would be taking at least 15 shots a game, if not more. However, over the past 2 games, Carmelo Anthony has attempted a total of 17 shots, scoring only 9 points in their last 2 games. This is the first time in his career where he's had back-to-back games that he didn't score in double digits, and it's not just a coincidence either. It's an actual thing where Melo said yesterday after the game that pretty much for the better of the team and to get the team wins, he is willing to sacrifice his own numbers.
I think at this point we just, this process, we're still trying to figure it out. We're still trying to, see how we want to play, and so we're still trying different things out there. For me personally, it's just about, doing something different, seeing where the team really needs me on a night-to-night basis, and just be willing, to do that, and being willing to sacrifice. Not every night, I have to score 20 or 30 points, and I'm good with that. It's a good feeling as long as, we're winning. And I think these past couple games, we've been winning. We've been moving the ball well. We've been playing, putting a complete game together. And as a result of that, we've, won 2 in a row.
Those are words that I don't think any of us ever thought we would hear come out of Carmelo Anthony's mouth. But that interview alone just restored some faith in me about this team. And as a result of Melo taking more of a back seat in the past few games, we have kind of seen the emergence of another player on the Thunder in Steven Adams. In his last game against the Wolves, Adams was phenomenal, scoring a career-high 27 points on 11 of 11 shooting from the field. And it looks like that wasn't just a standout game. That wasn't an anomaly. It's actually something that could be happening more, as yesterday he also had 19 points on 8 of 13 shooting from the field. The guy can score a bit down there in the post, which is huge for the Thunder because he can be that guy where they just give the ball to down low when they need a bucket, since he is such an efficient scorer in the paint. Now, like I said, the Thunder still have a lot of work to do before they actually reach their full potential. They have to continue what they've been doing the past couple of games, as well as maybe even move the ball a bit more, and of course get better with the outside shooting, as well as they have to figure out the whole crunch time situation because they still struggle in late game situations. But at least now it looks like they might be headed in the right direction. And there is still plenty of time left in the season to figure everything else out. Have you guys heard of this guy named James Harden? I hear he is pretty freaking good, but hey, then again, that could just be me. The Rockets continue their trend of blowing teams out of the water yesterday. Another 20+ point win for Houston. We're now seeing the result of not only adding Chris Paul to the team, but also the Rockets playing defense as well. And the result doesn't look fair. James Harden with another incredible game. 36 points and 9 assists. The man has been in his bag this season. And like I said, the Rockets won 118-95 over LA. And you guys already know, what is a Lakers game without some Lonzo / LaVar Ball news breaking out afterwards as well. And it wasn't so much about Lonzo this time, but instead the Lakers have now implemented preventative measures to try and decrease the amount of airtime LaVar Ball gets, as they have just created the LaVar Ball rule, which bans the media from interviewing family and guests of the players after the game. And according to a spokesperson on the team, this isn't a new rule. It's not a new policy, it's an existing policy. There has been more media presence in that area than before. That section is strictly for family and guests of players. It's a privacy concern. So it's not new, it's just being enforced again, and we all know why all of a sudden they have decided to reinforce this rule, because of LaVar Ball. Before this year, what reporter is going to go into the friends and family area? No one. But now that LaVar Ball is there, of course they want to be there too. And they had done it a few times this season already, when LaVar Ball will come out and say things about Luke Walton not coaching his son right. His son needs to play the entire fourth quarter, all this stuff. The Lakers obviously got tired of that and we're like, you know what, no more. Now no media is allowed to interview LaVar Ball after the games. You know, props to Austin Rivers for actually balling out in 2 of the Clippers' last 3 games. He was on fire again last night, scoring 30 points, hitting 7 of his 10 shots from 3. I know this team almost has no one else that they can rely on to score the ball left, so even if he is getting more shots now, end of the day, he still has to make them, and that's what he's been doing, so hats off to him. Still though, the Clippers lost to the Wolves 112-106. The Clippers freaking started CJ Williams, Jamil Wilson, and off the bench they had Juwan Evans and Sindarius Thornwell. They really checked out the local YMCAs to try and find players before the game. It's gotten that bad. Still though, in order for Minnesota to actually get the win, Jimmy Butler had to go Super Saiyan Blue Kaioken times 10 in the fourth quarter, going off for 20 of his 33 points in the final period. Look, it's good that they got the win, but it's terrible that it was this close against an injury-riddled Clippers team coming off a back-to-back where they had lost to Dallas by 26. And even though Butler had a tremendous fourth quarter, all he could talk about were the Wolves' defensive problems after the game.
Sadly as it is, we just outscored them once again. Our defense wasn't where it was supposed to be. A win's a win, but I want to play some defense one of these days.
That right there is why he is Coach Thibodeau's favorite player. Man is obsessed with defense, which isn't a bad thing. It seems like after every single game, he's harping on the team to play better defense. And while Jimmy Butler hasn't called out any players specifically, we all know the players that he's talking about that need to start playing defense. Andrew Wiggins and Karl Anthony Towns. Look, both these guys have the tools. They have the potential to be great defenders with their length, athleticism, agility. They have what it takes to actually play defense, but they don't. It's perplexing. I've even heard some people start to wonder if Karl Anthony Towns is actually a true center, and if he should be down in the rim protecting the paint, or if he's just a big forward, kind of like Anthony Davis. Granted, for Anthony Davis though, when he's healthy, he's still one of the league's best shot blockers, and Karl Anthony Towns really can't block any shots. It wasn't Katie, Curry, Green, or even Klay Thompson that got ejected this time, but still, yet another player did get ejected last night. Shaun Livingston, who is often pretty mild-tempered, I'd say. He never gets this upset, but he just wasn't having it last night. These refs, yo. Now, I will say that Livingston did violate the rules, so he had to be thrown out last night, but I can also understand his frustration. When there is literally a ref 2 feet away from you and you get hacked on a jump shot right in front of them and they don't call anything, I'd be like, what the heck too, are you blind? And that's pretty much what happened yesterday, except Livingston kind of rested his forehead against the refs, and since he's not allowed to touch his refs, he was tossed from the game. Refs can pick and choose what they want to call fouls. It's not fair, but that's just the way it is. And I think Livingston getting ejected, a little bit of a fire under the Warriors, because the game was all tied up when that happened, but not much longer after that, as the Warriors completely desolated Miami after that to come away with a 123-95 win. Curry was on fire last night, scoring 30 points without even playing in the fourth quarter, and this Warriors team just coasting games for a bit, but once they wake up, that's when they blow teams out the water. Seems like it's part of their game plan. Let them think they're keeping up with us, and all of a sudden, bang, they're down by 20. No Porzingis and no Tim Hardaway Jr. for the Knicks, and yet they still fought back from a 17-point deficit to claim the 105-100 loss to the Orlando Magic. Look, this this Knicks team does have a lot of fight, I'll give them that. And who knows, maybe without two starters, the Knicks still would have been able to beat the Magic had it not been for Nikola Vucevic, because midway through the fourth quarter, with the game all tied up, that's when Vucevic took over as he fueled a 10-0 Magic run where he scored 8 straight points in order to get his team the win. Big Booch was huge last night too, with 34 points and 12 rebounds, while Enes Kanter had 18 points and 16 rebounds for the Knicks. That wraps up all the action from last night though. You guys go vote for the player of the day by going to the community tab of my channel, even if you're on mobile. But like always, only players whose team won are eligible to win player of the day. And yesterday, you guys selected Giannis Antetokounmpo and his 33 points, 15 rebounds, 5 assists, and 3 steals as your player of the day. But thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure to leave a like on this video as well as subscribe to the channel for more daily NBA news and highlights. But until tomorrow, keep getting the buckets, Team SDC, and I'm out of here. Peace!